What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 336. Welcome back. I am back on regularly scheduled programming, so I apologize. Like I said before, if we didn't get episodes consistently, like I said, I've had a lot of personal family issues. My dad being really sick, me getting in a car accident, and stuff like that. So we are officially back on regularly scheduled programming. I don't know when we'll end season 4 because that's coming up here, I think, in January. Might end in February. I don't know. We'll see, depending on what the news cycle is looking like, because sometimes there's weeks where really the news, there really isn't much, right? There's only so much you can talk about within 3 days passing, right? Because we do 2 episodes a week, and sometimes we get a 3-day window, and then some days we get a 2-day window. So there's only so much you can talk about within those 2 to 3 days and discuss in terms of news. But Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre dropped their collab album, Missionary. I will be reviewing that towards the end of the podcast. I couldn't go live because of all the stuff going on in my life right now. I wanted to badly because, we got a new 50 Cent verse, which I'm always excited about because the guy never releases music anymore. But this was a rare chance to hear him again making music. I'm going to review that album towards the end. But first, let's get into the news. And the first is Diddy is ready to give up on his bail appeals. Yeah, he's tried multiple times, but he's going to call it quits, allegedly. Diddy has announced that after being denied bail 3 times from 3 different judges, he's given up on try number 4 and is ready to drop his appeal. On September 30th, Diddy filed an appeal of Judge Andrew Carter's decision to keep him in jail while he prepares for trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Carter's decision was itself a review of the initial decision to deny bail for Diddy, made earlier that month by a different judge, Robin Tarnofsky. The appeal was temporarily put on hold in October as Diddy tried again for bail as his case was assigned to a new judge, Arun Subramanian. Last month, Subramanian ordered that Diddy needed to remain locked up, citing his propensity for violence. This past Friday, December 13th, Diddy's lawyer, Alexander Shapiro, filed paperwork indicating that the mogul wanted to shut down his own appeal effort. Attached to the document is a statement signed by Diddy himself acknowledging that he desires to withdraw and voluntarily dismiss the appeal. So he is basically giving up and saying, hey, I guess I'm going to have to be in here till May, which is no surprise to me. I knew he wasn't going to get bail. And we're going to be talking about Lil Durk as well. He's got an interesting thing happening with this whole murder for hire thing. Continuing on, though, with Diddy, he has been accused of raping 3 men. And these are new accusations from 2022 in a new lawsuit. Let's go over this. Diddy has been accused of drugging and raping 3 men in recent years in the latest waves of lawsuits against the embattled mogul. The complaints were filed anonymously on Thursday, December 12th in the New York State Supreme Court by lawyer Thomas Guffa, according to the Associated Press, adding to Diddy's mounting sexual assault lawsuits and federal sex trafficking case. The alleged incidents took place between 2019 and 2022 and followed a frighteningly consistent pattern, according to Guffa, where the bad boy boss would lure the men to his house or hotel room, ply them with spiked drinks, and then rape them. Diddy's legal team has denied the allegations, saying in a statement, these complaints are full of lies. We will prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him. One of the men who worked for Diddy between 2006 and 2018 claims he was sexually assaulted by his former employee at a Manhattan hotel in 2020, where they met to discuss money he was owed from his job. According to the lawsuit, Diddy served him a drink, and within minutes he felt very sleepy. The man then claims he later woke up to find Diddy raping him. When he tried to stop him, Diddy allegedly told him, I'm almost done. Another anonymous male accuser claims he was invited to an after-party hosted by the rap mogul at a luxury NYC hotel in 2019, where he was offered a cocktail that he had personally made. Why are people just taking drinks from people that I don't think they barely know? After losing consciousness, the man woke up on a sofa to find Puffy raping him as a man, and a woman sat on a nearby bed and recorded the attack, the suit claims. The alleged victim says he was given $2,500 the following morning and was told it was from Diddy. The third plaintiff claims he was drugged and raped by Diddy and associates from Bad Boy Records at a party at his Hamptons mansion in the summer of 2020. All 3 men are seeking unspecified damages from Diddy and his companies, along with a jury trial. Wow. Um, I said this, I think, on a previous episodes. If you don't really know the person, I wouldn't take an open drink from the person. I just don't. That's how I've always moved. It's not that I want. I think everybody's a bad person. I try to see the good in everybody, but if I don't really know you and I'm at your place by myself with nobody else around me that I really trust, the chances of me taking a drink from you that is already opened and it's no seal to it at all, and it's just a drink that you made, the chances of me taking that, unless I'm in front of you watching you make that drink, even then I'm still skeptical because I don't know. You could just slide some shit in there within seconds. It happens in clubs where men go party, they'll slide a little pill and a drink quick and drug a female and do things to her. That happens frequently. It's a very, very fucked up thing, but there are people out there like that. And, I say this for everybody, make sure, even the people that you fully trust, right? There's people that I would trust wholeheartedly, but you still don't know, man. Somebody could just wake up one day and just decide they want to do something to you. Like, that's how crazy human beings are. There are human beings out there that will be loyal, love you, respect you for years, and then all of a sudden just wake up one day and feel like they don't want to do that anymore and they just hate you. I've had that happen where I've had very close friends, and then one day they just wake up and they just don't want to be your friend anymore, and it is what it is. I don't know where that comes from. I have no idea. I've never done that personally. If I have a reason to not be your friend anymore, then obviously I'll let you know, and I don't want to be your friend anymore. I always have those conversations with people if I don't want to be their friend anymore. I don't just stop being friends with people. That's just because that doesn't give closure to the person. I've had people stop being friends with me and never given me closure on the situation of why they stopped being friends with me. Never. I had a best friend that I actually went on vacation with in 2022 when I went to Cabo for the 5-year anniversary of Diverse Mentality and my birthday. I was celebrating. I think I turned 27 or something like that, 28 or 27. And great friend that whole year. We've been friends for like 10 plus years, and then out of nowhere just stopped being friends. Not only with me, but my other close friends. So it's like I had 4 friends that were really close to me, that I really respect. Treat them as my best friends. And the 4th one was the one that just he's the last one to be introduced to the group, but I was friends with him since 2010, I think 2011, somewhere around there. And consider him a great friend, man. Gave him advice, helped him whenever he needed help on things. Never asked for anything. I've always been the type to just, if I'm blessed with things, I try to help people as much as I can. Things like that. I just never, it just randomly stopped talking to me out of nowhere. Never got closure, never explained why, never said anything, just stopped talking. Not only to me, but my other 2 friends. And me and my friends tried to speculate what it was, but really we couldn't come up with anything. It was just random. So with that being said, what I'm saying is, you never know with people. So if you're going to their house and if they're making you a drink, be in front of them when they're making the drink. Don't just let your friend or whoever that you trust, quote unquote, make a drink without them, without you seeing them do it. I prefer like sealed water bottles. If you're going to give me something to drink, give me something that's sealed. It's just safer. I don't, like I said, I don't really trust people like that going to other people's houses and them just giving me open things that who knows what they did to it. And here's perfect examples. And this happens frequently. This happens day to day. This just happened to be Diddy, so we're hearing about it, but this happens every single day, from men to females doing it to whatever. There was even a couple that was married, and the wife was putting bleach in his smoothies that she was making, like trying to put, I think it was bleach or something to try and kill him. And at one point when he drank one of the, I think it was in the coffee that she actually did it. When he drank a little bit of the coffee, he tasted something off about it. And then he set up a camera and, found out she was pouring like bleach, or I forget what it was, something in the drink that basically was trying to kill him. And yeah, that's somebody that he's married to that, even if they're having problems, you would never expect your partner to do that. That's just insane. There's partners that will literally take out life insurances and then kill their partner later on just to get that money. Like I said, human beings are very, very complicated, and there's some individuals that are just straight up psychopaths that think that everything is other people's faults and not theirs, and they will do it whatever to destroy other people's lives and whatever the case may be. Without, going on too many crazy rants, be careful out there, guys. This is a perfect example of that. We don't know if this happened. I'm not going to, charge this to Diddy and be like, oh, he's a piece of shit. I do know he's a piece of shit with the Cassie situation. I do believe what Cassie said in her lawsuit, most of the stuff is true. I'm willing to bet 80% of it is. I just don't see her lying. So with that, just one person's all it takes for you to be a piece of shit. I don't need 100 people to come up and say you're a piece of shit. That one person proving you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. So, yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted on this. Continuing on, Jay-Z. So we talked about that Jay-Z lawsuit of this person accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of raping her. And she was a 13-year-old minor, right? Well, like I said in the video, and I got a little bit of flack for this, which I'm genuinely, this is what I mean, is online hate towards Jay-Z is something that's genuine, like it's shocking to me. There are people that want to see Jay-Z locked up for some reason. They hate his guts. They want to see him locked up. They don't care about the victim in the cases. They just want to see Jay-Z locked up alongside Diddy. I don't understand it. I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan. You guys know that. I'm not an advocate for Jay-Z. I don't really consider him the GOAT or any of these things. I do respect his longevity in music, but other than that, I'm a 50 fan, and of course 50 always trolls Jay-Z, but even 50 has kept it neutral with his Jay-Z stuff. Turns out the female that made these accusations kind of backpedaled and said there was a lot of things that she got wrong in the lawsuit. So does this mean Jay-Z is 100% innocent? From what I can tell, no. But inconsistencies mean there's something not adding up in this story. And I said in my video, I was like, there's smoke here, but we haven't found any fire. Relax, keep it in the middle. Don't just automatically assume he did it, and don't automatically assume he didn't do it. Keep it in the middle. And I was getting flack for that. I saw in the comments, why are you sticking up for Jay-Z? You don't understand. This guy's a weirdo. Like, how do you guys know 100%? Like, these are just stories online, conspiracy theories. There hasn't been any solid 100% proof, because if there was, Jay-Z would have lost all his sponsorship deals. Jay-Z would have been blackballed. People wouldn't fuck with him if he had anything to do with raping a minor. Come on, guys. That's just like clear as day. Right now, there's just speculation. Bunch of smoke in the air. Until we find that fire, then you can say something. And we found the fire with Diddy, but there hasn't been no fire found in this Jay-Z situation. So with all the stuff going on, Jay-Z's relationship with NFL hasn't been broken up at all. One of the Roger Goodell talked about it. He said, we're aware of the civil allegations and Jay-Z's really strong response to that. We know the litigation is happening now, so from our standpoint, our relationship is not changing with them, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl. I think they're getting incredibly comfortable with not just Super Bowl, but other events they've advised us on and helped us with, he added. They've been a really big help in social justice area to us on many occasions. They've been great partners. Talking about Rock Nation, Jay-Z's team as well. So NFL is not backing down, and they're not going to end the relationship with Jay-Z. But let's go over the woman who talked to NBC News about the rape accusations and Jay-Z responding to what the woman said. So Jay-Z has responded to an interview given by the woman who claims the superstar raped her when she was 13, where she admitted to making some mistakes in her recollections of the night of the alleged assault. The interview was put out by NBC News on Friday, December 13th. In it, the anonymous woman, now in her late 30s, shared her memories of what she called a catastrophic event following the 2000 VMAs, a limousine ride, being drugged via a drink, and being raped by both Diddy and Jay. The inconsistencies in her story centered around several issues. She says her father drove her home afterwards, something he does not recall. She also says she spoke to Benji Madden of Good Charlotte at the party, but a rep for the band said Good Charlotte was on tour at the time and not anywhere near New York. The NBC News story points out that there are inconsistencies which deal with an alleged incident from nearly a quarter century ago. This does not necessarily mean the allegations are false, though. So basically, you recollect the time, oh, this is what happened, this is what I remember happening. But I mean, this is something that happened 24 years ago. If it happened in the year 2000, you are going to fuck up some things recollecting something 24 years ago. I'm 28. I can't recall shit that happened to me when I was 13. There's barely anything I can recall that happened to me when I was 13. Obviously, a catastrophic event you'll remember more. I do remember 13. I do remember at 13, I got into a fight, so I do remember that. But there's like, for the most part, most people, I know there's some people that have amazing memory that can remember everything in their past. But for most part, most people can only remember like catastrophic events or something big or something they accomplished when they were younger. I really can't remember, much at 13. So I don't really blame her for having some inconsistencies. But if she has proof and evidence, different story. Both Jay and his attorney, Alex Spiro, responded following the interview. Hove issued a statement on social media that focused on the woman's attorney, Tony Busby. This is what Jay-Z said. This is straight from Jay-Z's mouth. Today's investigative report proves this attorney, quote-unquote, Busby, filed a false complaint against me in pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. And then Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, said, it is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today, and will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Busby and all the lawyers that filed the complaint. We'll see what happens moving forward, but it is looking sketchy. Like I said, guys, do not just blame Jay-Z automatically and run with this narrative that Jay-Z did this. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. It doesn't matter who the person is, whether I like them or not. I'm not saying I hate Jay-Z. I don't know this guy. I'm just not a fan of him. Let's just say that. That doesn't mean that I hate him. Whether, I'm a fan of the person or not, there needs to be a middle ground of whoever gets accused of things, be in the middle until either the court, the trial starts, or there's evidence that comes out, right? So with Jay-Z, evidence came out of him putting his hands on Cassie. That was enough for me. I know for other people, they're like, oh, shit happens, relationship. Me and my relationships that I've been with females, nothing like that's ever happened. That's not just shit happening. That is you being a domestic violence abuser. You're an abuser. I don't care if you're drunk. That's no excuse. I don't care what's going on in the relationship. I don't care if she cheats on you. I don't care if she slaps you. I don't care what happens. Unless she's a threat to your life, she's got a knife and she's about to try to kill you with that knife, then you got your rights, obviously to put your hands on her because you're saving your life. That's the only time that you put your hands on somebody like that. But clearly Diddy wasn't fearing for his life in that video. He was chasing after her. She was fearing for her life. So that to me was like more than enough to say that Diddy's a piece of shit. I don't care. Not to say that all that he's been accused with is true, but hey, we found the fire. I'm sure there's gonna be more fire that comes out of it. That's basically what I'm saying in that situation. But for Jay-Z, there hasn't been anything. There's been no video footage. There hasn't been anything that's come out. There's been rumors. There's been this. Who's that fucking lady, man, that always talks about Jay-Z? She does these interviews that I don't know why people give this woman a platform. Like, she just randomly runs her mouth about things with no proof. She just speculates things. And people say, oh, she got it right, this and that. And I'm like, where are you guys making these connections? But yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. If Jay-Z did these things, obviously all the dark will come to light. If he didn't do it, fuck that person for accusing him for it. That person should face some type of legal ramifications. Because that's messed up. You can fuck up somebody's whole life and reputation off a false accusation. And that's what people need to put themselves in these people's shoes. Would you like if somebody falsely accused you of something and then everybody started believing that false accusation with no proof? You wouldn't like it. So why would you, assume that of somebody else? And that's the problem with a lot of human beings on planet Earth here is, they don't put themselves in that person's shoes. If I was put in Jay-Z's shoes and I genuinely didn't do something, I wouldn't want people just accusing me of doing something off the rip with no evidence. That's messed up. That would make me feel really bad as a person. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. Young Thug has scored a legal victory. Let's go over the article. Young Thug has only just been released from jail, but has already secured an amendment to his lengthy probation. The YSL rapper submitted a motion last week seeking to amend the terms of his probation in regards to his 10-year ban from the metro Atlanta area. And he asked the court to clarify how they determine what is metro Atlanta, as he owns a house in the area. Judge Paige Reese Whitaker, who handed down the sentence in the first place, ruled on Wednesday, December 11th, that the rapper can visit his home for up to 2 weeks at a time as long as he stays out of trouble for the first 3 years of his probation. She also ruled that he can stay at the property up to 4 times a year, but must notify his probation officer up to 5 days in advance. The ban was one of the several strict conditions outlined in Thug's 15-year probation as part of his recent plea deal in his YSL RICO case. The lifestyle hitmaker is also prohibited from making gang references in his music and contacting any of his co-defendants other than his brother, Quantavious Unfunk Greer, and Gunna, who is, of course, signed to the label. He must also submit to random drug tests, deliver anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentations in schools, and complete 100 hours of community service during each year of his probation. If a judge rules that he's violated any of these conditions, Thug will serve 20 years of backloaded prison time, meaning he's essentially walking a legal tightrope until 2039. Earlier this week, one of Young Thug's lawyers revealed that the rapper actually regrets taking it. We talked about that. But yeah, they made some adjustments about him visiting his Metro Atlanta home. And I'm sure as the years go on, if he starts to do good, I'm sure they'll make adjustments to the probation. I think they can get things going, and we're like, if he acts good for the next 5 years, they can make adjustments and say, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can move a little bit more freer. I don't remember. I've never been locked up or had probation, but I don't know if they adjust the rules as the time goes on for you to make things a little bit easier, because being this strict till the year 2039 is going to be very, very hard for an artist to do. A regular person, yeah, they could probably follow these guidelines pretty easily, but for an artist with the lifestyle they're living, it's going to be pretty tough. But good luck to Young Thug, man. I hope he actually makes it through this and doesn't fuck up and, gets out of this scot-free and actually, moves on with his life and does well for the community and his family. But, yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. Updates on Lil Durk's murder for hire case. And it's gotten worse. It's not looking good. And I actually remember a lyric specifically for this, which is crazy. So let's go over the article. Lil Durk has been linked to the killing of an alleged Chicago gang leader shortly after being charged with murder for hire over a separate slaying in Los Angeles. So they got him for another murder for hire in Chicago, though. Newly unsealed court documents claim the rapper funded the January 2022 shooting of Stephon Mack, the alleged leader of the Smashville faction of the Gangster Disciples. The killing is believed to have been payback for the murder of Durk's brother D-Thang, who was shot to death outside a nightclub in Harvey, Illinois in 2021. Lil Durk was and still is offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed, a federal agent wrote in the filing, which was submitted in April 2023 but unsealed on Wednesday, December 11th. Durk has not been charged in connection with Mack's murder, although police sources told the Chicago Tribune that an investigation is still ongoing. Two men, Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, were charged earlier this year with conspiracy to commit murder for hire in Mack's killing. Investigators allegedly discovered two-person text conversation on Montgomery Wilson's phone in which one person asked, "Did Durk gave Sick you that money?" That's not good. The unsealed documents were used by prosecutors during Lil Durk's detention hearing in the murder for hire case on Thursday, December 12th, as evidence that he should remain jailed until trial. So they said, hey, judge, he's not getting out. Do not let this guy out because this guy hired more people to kill other people. So here you go. Wham. They dropped another case. The judge sided with the prosecution and denied the rapper's request for bond. His trial is set to begin on January 7th. Damn, that's pretty quick. During the hearing, prosecutors referenced other murders allegedly orchestrated by Durk, saying evidence collected in this case also shows Durk has allegedly placed monetary bounties to solicit other murders, including a family member of a witness. What the fuck? His modus operandi is clear. He will use his power, his money, his influence, and any pretrial release to endanger anyone who he perceives as a threat, including witnesses in this case. Durk's attorneys, meanwhile, had offered to put up 2 homes in Georgia worth a combined $2.3 million, as well as $1 million in cash from his label Sony Music to secure a bond. We were obviously disappointed, but we'll continue to fight on. Durk's lawyer, Jonathan Bremen, said after hearing. Mr. Banks remains confident and optimistic about the future. He deeply appreciates the outpouring love and support he has felt since his arrest. This is the lyric that this reminds me of, because his brother D-Thang got killed, and I listened to this song a lot because I actually like this song. It is the second track off the Almost Healed album. Look, when Thang died, a guy died, another guy died, we thangin'. He's basically talking about D-Thang. When his brother Thang died, he said the N-word, though. He said, N-word died, another N-word died, we thangin'. See? So that it just tells you right there that, hey, I got revenge. When D-Thang, my brother, died, we got, 2 other guys we killed. And he's been saying this music all the time. And, the album title, I think Academics said this. I saw this on a clip, which was props to Academics for this. The album title, Almost Healed, makes sense now because he's gotten revenge almost for everybody involved. And not only King Von's murder, but his brother D-Thang's murder. He got Quando Rondo's homie, but he never got Quando Rondo. So that's why his album, they're saying, is titled Almost Healed. That if he was fully healed, he would have got Quando Rondo back. And probably Lil Tim as well, because that's the person who actually pulled the trigger versus Quando Rondo. But that's insane to think about. It's not looking good for Durk. I'm telling you guys, man. I don't care what kind of lawyers you got. If they're getting text messages, and there was also reports that the snitch in the Lil Durk situation was getting paid $2,500 a year to snitch on Durk, which is such a shitty amount of money. Like, if I was to snitch on somebody, you would have to pay me something comfortable to where I can actually give it to my family and they can live a good life at least. At least if I'm risking myself snitching. What the fuck is $2,500 a year? That's not even, how much is that a month? That's what, $205 a month, I think. Not even that, $200 a month basically. $200 a month, $2,400. But it's $2,500, so whatever. Do the math on splitting that. Basically, $200 a month to snitch. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. I need at least give me 5 G's a month. At least. That's the minimum. Like, insane, bro. Insane. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's not looking good. And I'm sure they're going to throw more stuff. And they're going to get more people to snitch in turn. But yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. Speaking of Quando Rondo earlier, he officially has gotten sentenced. Let's go over it. Quando Rondo has been sentenced to almost 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to a federal drug charge. Back in August, the Savannah, Georgia rapper pleaded guilty to a single count of conspiracy to possess and distribute marijuana. He has now been sentenced to 2 years and 9 months behind bars, slightly less than the 5 years he was initially facing for the charge. The 25-year-old has also been ordered to pay a $40,000 fine and spent 3 years on probation following his release from prison. Rondo will also be subject to drug testing, mental health counseling, and educational training requirements. The NBA YoungBoy signee told local ABC affiliate WJCL that he's taken the sentence in stride and views it as just one chapter in his next story. As crazy as it sounds, that's enough time to really sit down, rehabilitate myself, come up with better plans, come out, and move forward for my family and friends, he said. He added that he wants to serve as a role model for the youth and show them that they can do something way more better and positive, and that doing the right thing and walking down the right path is cool. Quando Rondo was originally charged with a more serious crime of drug conspiracy and participating in criminal street gang activity, but later struck a deal with prosecutors where he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. The controversial rapper previously apologized for his actions, saying, "I've had ups and downs, but I know I can do better, not just for myself, but for the community that supported me. Savannah deserves more from me, and I'm working hard to be a better person." Hey, shout out to him, man, for having a positive outlook. I think he's gotten more of a positive mentality in this thing. Maybe he'll come out, I hope, he comes out a lot better of a person, like Gucci, like Kevin Gates. Like, those are two best examples in hip-hop to where they've been locked up for a while. They come out and they do better. They change. Kevin Gates went from being a drug abuser, same with Gucci, drug abuser, to being a full-on Muslim, and just, he looks healthier and better. Same with Gucci as well. That's what prison is supposed to be for, rehabilitation. Instead, there really isn't much rehabilitation. Most people come out and they don't have anything, and they end up going right back to the stuff that they're doing. The blessing of Gucci and Kevin and even Quando is they do have a significant amount of money that when they get out, they can, live a better lifestyle. Most people that go in prison, once they get out, they don't have a lot to support them. So they don't have money. They can't get jobs. It's a cycle that just doesn't stop. And then they end up resorting to stealing things or robbing people or whatever the case may be, and then end up back in prison. Because at least in prison, you have some shelter and you got meals, right? That's the way they view it. And it's unfortunate that's like that. There should be a rehabilitation center. There should be, tests done if the person's rehabilitated to be able to get jobs like a regular person. But our system is not meant for that. Our system's meant to make money. Prison systems should not be a business. Healthcare systems should not be a business. In America, these are businesses to make money, which is ridiculous. But that's America for you. Welcome to America. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted on Quando Rondo, and I hope his journey goes well. Polo G updates on his gun case, and it's been good news. Polo G is celebrating after his lawyer successfully got the gun charges related to his April arrest in New York dismissed. Shout out to lawyers, man, doing their thing. Taken to his Instagram story on Monday, December 9th, the Chicago rapper shared a screenshot of a conversation with his attorney who shared the good news. Congratulations, I just got off the record in front of the judge. Your case is dismissed and sealed, the text read. Over the screenshot, Polo added, beat my gun case in NYC. Shout out to my lawyer, Stacy Richmond. Heart emojis. Back in April, the New York Post reported Polo G was arraigned on charges of criminal possession of a firearm as well as criminal possession of a weapon in Manhattan criminal court. The issue stemmed from a stay at Dominic Hotel in the lower Manhattan neighborhood of Soho, during which a maid found a loaded Glock with 10 bullets in his room. Authorities were subsequently alerted about the piece. Yeah, so, dismissed, man. Round of applause. Shout out to Polo G. Doing great, man. Let's get into the Billboard 2024 winners. The reason why I actually care about the Billboard Awards is because they go off of numbers. They don't go off of anything else. It's not a ploy to, like Grammys. It's about who you know and connections, and they award albums that sometimes people don't even know what the fuck they are. Billboard is just about, hey, are you dominating the charts? Cool. You're going to get awards. It's that simple. Now, can the charts be manipulated? Yeah. Fake streams, stuff like that. That's always been part of the game. But at least Billboard, acknowledges, who's actually doing good. So let's go over the actual list. And it's interesting. The top artists for Billboard the nominees are Taylor Swift, Zach Bryan, Sabrina Carpenter, Drake, and Morgan Wallen. Interesting that Kendrick Lamar is not in the 2024 top artist list. But whoever won that is Taylor Swift. Top new artists, we're not going to go over that. Top male artists. You got Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan, Luke Combs, Drake, and Post Malone. Drake is again nominated as a top male artist, but Morgan Wallen wins that. Going down, I'm going to skip a few of these. Top Billboard 200 artists. This is interesting. Taylor Swift, Zach Bryan, Drake, SZA, Morgan Wallen. So Drake's been nominated already 3 times on this. Taylor Swift wins. Top Hot 100 artists. Interesting enough, no rappers on this. Taylor Swift won that. Top Hot 100 songwriter. The interesting thing in this is Kendrick Lamar is nominated on this, which I don't understand why specifically for songwriter, and not like other tracks and stuff. But Amy Allen, Jack Ontoff, Zach Bryan, Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift wins that. Going down, let's see here. Top streaming songs artists. This is interesting as well. Zach Bryan, Sabrina Carpenter, Morgan Wallen, Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift. So Kendrick's been nominated twice, while Drake's been nominated 3 times so far. Taylor Swift wins that, of course. Top radio songs artists. No rapper was nominated there, but Taylor Swift won that. Top songs sales artist. Shabuzi won that. Top Billboard Global 200 artist. No rapper on there, but Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is just winning everything on this. Top R&B artist, SZA won that. Top R&B male artist, Tommy Richmond won that. Top R&B female artist, SZA won that. Now, this is interesting. Top rap artist. The nominees are Drake, Future, Kendrick Lamar, Metro Boomin, and Travis Scott. Guess who won that? Drake. Yeah, they gave it to him in 2024. Top rap male artist. Nominees, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Travis Scott. Guess who wins? Drake. So Drake is, because I think they're counting, because they're doing it in December of 2024. So that means they're probably counting December 2023 till now, I think. And I think For All the Dogs, didn't it drop like around that time or something like that? Some shit, I forget. It dropped, October, so it's a little bit. So I think they're counting For All the Dogs and that type of stuff. So Drake won that back-to-back, beating Kendrick. Top rap touring artist. Surprised that 50's not even nominated on this, but it's Travis Scott, Nicki Minaj, and Suicide Boys, and Travis Scott won that, which is insane. 50 should have been up there. But the rest is just country. Let's see here. Latin, stuff like that. Yeah. Christian artist, gospel. Top Billboard 200 album. So, yeah, they do have For All the Dogs on there. So, they nominated Drake for All the Dogs, but Taylor Swift won with the Tortured Poets department. Top R&B album, Chris Brown won that. Top rap album. You got 21 Savage, American Dream, Future, Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You, Rod Wave, Nostalgia, Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday 2, and then Drake for All the Dogs. Drake won that. That's really interesting. So, yeah, For All the Dogs is, I mean, like I said, they're not going off opinions, they're just going off sales. That's all this is about how are you doing sales-wise, and obviously Drake sold the best when he dropped his album. Top streaming song. They nominated Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us with a bunch of country artists around. But Zach Bryan won with I Remember Everything. So I don't know Zach Bryan that well, so I don't know how he's done streaming-wise. But Kendrick Lamar broke a lot of records with Not Like Us. So I'm surprised he didn't win the top streaming song. But, yeah, going down. Top collaboration. They did nominate Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar would like that, but Post Malone, Morgan Wallen won with I Had Some Help. Top R&B song, they nominated Four Bats and Drake with that Act I Date at 8 remix. But he didn't win. Tommy Richmond won. Now, top rap song. They nominated Like That. They nominated Jack Harlow, Lovin' On Me, which I don't know how that's a rap song. Doja Cat, Paint the Town Red. Doja Cat, Agora Hills. And then Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. He won top rap song with Not Like Us. Rap song. Sorry, I keep saying rack song for some reason. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He did win with that at least. Going down. Damn, there's a lot of like categories and shit. They should have just done it better with the. But yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, I just went through everything. So Drake won 3. Let me see. How many did Drake win? Well, he's been nominated a lot, but he won top rap artist, top rap male artist, top rap album. So he won top rap male artist, top hip hop artist, and then top rap album. And then Kendrick Lamar was nominated a few times, but only won once with the top rap song, which is Not Like Us. So if you're looking at numbers, obviously Drake is still going to be up there dominating. I mean, that just is what it is. That's no surprise to me. But, that's something that people can kind of hold over Kendrick Lamar's head and be like, aha, Drake won, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I just wanted to go over that. This is the only award show that I actually respect because they go off numbers. The rest is just opinions and who you know and who's dick sucking each other, and that's really behind the scenes stuff. That's all that is connections and, stuff like that. But, yeah, we'll see next year who dominates. It's going to be interesting. Let's get into the Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre Missionary album review. And you guys know how I do these album reviews. I give my best tracks, I give the bad tracks, and then I give the neutral ones where I'm in the middle. I don't know if I like it, if I don't know if I don't. Usually the neutral ones I keep very low, minimal, because I like to have an opinion on every single track that there is. But yeah, let's go over it, and let's go in order. I believe I've done it in order before. I don't remember if I did or not. But Foreplay, the first track. This is right on my neutral list immediately. It's just a great intro to the album. I didn't notice how short it was and how the first 2 tracks, like, I thought it was one track, to be honest with you, when I heard it. And that just proves how great of a transition, Dre did with the album. Dre is another thing I got to give Dr. Dre props is he knows how to sequence albums really, really good. A lot of what great albums that you listen to that's come from Dr. Dre has been produced has been sequenced by Dr. Dre. So he's very good at that. So Foreplay is on my neutral tracks. It's not really something that I, would listen to again, but it's not something that I hate. It's like something that I respect that it's there. It's like, I don't know, there's certain intros on albums that you would never listen to again, but you just like that it's there. It makes the album, smoother, and BG, the Chicago kid, underrated, love him. I think I'm glad that he's all over this album because he deserves it. He is an amazing R&B artist. Second track, Shangri-La. Hope I pronounced that right. That is on my good tracks, best tracks list, basically. I love that Snoop Dogg sets the tone. Great flow. Sounds very crisp, very sharp, motivated. He sets the tone like, hey, I'm here. Yes, I've been in this rap game for over 30 years, but I still got it. And that's the theme throughout this whole album that I really loved, is that Snoop Dogg sounds fresh. Doesn't sound outdated. And I think a lot of that is props to Dr. Dre for giving him that spark again. Because Snoop and Dre have to work with each other. They bounce ideas off each other. They're peanut butter and jelly, so to say. And Snoop sounds very refreshed, very new, very crisp, sharp, on point. Doesn't sound like an artist that's been out for 30 years, Some artists, when they get to making music again, and they try to do this like comeback great album with their producer, engineer, sounds outdated still. So that's major props to not only Snoop Dogg, but Dr. Dre as well. He does not sound outdated. Dr. Dre sounds like he has kept his old formula, but updated it fresh for the new generation. So I love this track. Very motivational type of record too. Just sounds grandiose. Production is very out there, grandiose. So great track. It's on my best tracks. Out of the Blue. This is another track that is on my best tracks. I love it. Snoop and Dre going back and forth. That's a great way to start the first half of the album. The hook is great. Love the MIA Paper Planes sample as well. Take your money. So great record. Love the production too. Went back to this track quite a few times. Hard Knocks. This track was on my bad tracks list. Nothing about this track I enjoyed. Felt Snoop Dogg didn't deliver much. Hook I didn't like at all. The transition of production didn't do much for me either. So it's one of those bad tracks that I kind of just never went back to, because I listened to this album Saturday and Sunday quite frequently, as much as I could, and I just never found myself going back to that Hard Knocks track. Number 5, Gorgeous. I have this on my best tracks list. It's a classic Dre and Snoop vibe to me. Janae Aiko, oh my gosh, she's underrated. She killed the hook. I think this should be one of those singles. I'm glad they released it as a single. And Snoop Dogg flows all over his track, man. Perfect execution with simple bars. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, crazy. So great. Love the track. Number 6, Last Dance with Mary Jane. I'm a sucker for guitar strings in hip-hop tracks. I always have been. You put a guitar string, ding, 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 it's over. I love it. I don't know what it is. I don't even like country music like that. I just love that sound mixed with hip-hop production. There's just something about it that I love. And the second I heard it, I was like, oh, I love this track. There's nothing I have to hear anymore. So love that. Love the sample from Tom Petty's Mary Jane's Last Dance. Rest in peace, Tom Petty. Jelly Roll. I don't listen to Jelly Roll. I've never heard his music, never listened to his projects or anything. But wow, he was the superstar on this track. He outshined Snoop Dogg, outshined whatever Tommy Petty sample, I guess you want to call it. Blew me away, man. I was shocked. Amazing. Snoop Dogg delivered too, but Jelly Roll was definitely the one that delivered on this track. I love this track, man. I think it should be a single. I think it should be pushed a lot more. Number 7, Thank You. This is another track. Reminds me of a 2006 blue carpet treatment type of Snoop Dogg with the production, the way he's rapping, which I loved. I love the blue carpet treatment. I think Snoop Dogg was on a roll. Vato, you won't believe what I saw. And then what was the other record that he had that was a single that I really loved? You want it? I got it. Dripping like water. I don't know. Just that era of the Snoop Dogg I enjoyed as well. So I think this just kind of took me there. And that's why I really love the track. Production's fire. Hook is great. Sample sounds amazing. And it sounds amazing in the car as well. That's one thing about this track that I really enjoyed. So Thank You is a really good track. Pressure. This is a track that I have on my bad tracks. Not a fan of this track. From production to Snoop Dogg's flow, and the hook is very boring. I just kind of skipped over this track. Never really went back to it. Number 9, Another Part of Me. This is another track that I really have on my best tracks. I love this. This track I remember seeing online when it came out, because this is one of the tracks that came out before the album officially came out. People were mad at like Snoop Dogg's like pop sound, different type of flow style, more like, a pop sounding record. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was something different, and I applaud Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre for trying something new, out of the box. And Sting perfect. Sting sample, Sting being on it, perfect. Well incorporated into the track. I think this track has a huge potential to be a hit as well. I think this album has a lot of tracks that are can be marketable really well. But I don't know if Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are going to shoot music videos for these tracks because they released a whole film with some of these tracks in that film, which is a great film. I mean, not to spoil it if you haven't seen. Well, I'll spoil it, whatever. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But it's like Dre and Snoop talking about how many bodies, how many hits they put out. It's kind of like they're hitmen, right? Because throughout 30 years they've dropped so many hits, but they're doing wordplay on it. Like, hey, they actually killed people and put hits out on people, but it's really hit records. And they kind of go through this journey about somebody going in the freezer, finding the body of the person that they put a hit on. And then they kind of, go around and seeing who the person was. And then towards the end, they mention Eminem and 50, which is really cool. I love that little short film, man. Great. But throughout the short film, there's like music videos to certain tracks. So I hope they actually shoot music videos for these tracks. But this is another track that I really loved. Another part of me. Great song. I went back to it a lot of times. Skyscrapers, Snoop, Dre, Method Man, and Smitty. Wasn't a fan of this track. The only thing that I liked is that Method Man did his thing. He killed it. But other than that, I don't care to listen to the track ever again. It's just a track that I kind of, it was there. Number 11, Fire. This is another track that I didn't care much for. Snoop Dogg's flow just plain sucks to me. Production is bland. And the hook, it's not bad, though. The hook, and it's there, but the hook alone doesn't do enough for me to go listen to the track. So not really a fan of that track. Guns and Smoke. This is the track that I couldn't wait to hear. We get Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and Eminem all on one track, obviously with Dre being on the productions, and a little bit, I think, in the background. Gunsmoke, I don't know if that's from him. No, that's Biggie, sorry. Yeah, this track, production is fire, loved it. I couldn't ask more from Dr. Dre on the production side. Sounds amazing in the car. With the right speakers, the right settings, sounds amazing in the car. I listened to it in the car. I loved it. I love the incorporation of Biggie sample on the hook. This is why I think Dr. Dre is one of the best producers of all time. Executed that so good. It just flows perfectly. Initially, starting out, I was surprised that 50 Cent started out the record. Heard him, and I was like, okay, I like this. 50's doing his thing. He's spitting. Although the bars are pretty simple, it's about, gun talk and beam on, lean on, scheming, all this stuff. Bars are pretty simple, but the way 50 flowed on there, you could tell, whenever he gets on a track with Eminem, it seems like he ups his game. He wants to deliver something special, and he did that. The only thing that initially when I heard 50's verse that I didn't like is that part where he says, lean on, scheme on, just the way it sounded initially at first when I first heard the track. I really wasn't a fan of it, but the more I listened to the track, the more I understood why he did that, to kind of change things up. And I felt like he did a great job, man. I hope with Snoop and Dre dropping their albums, Eminem dropping his album, I hope 50 finds some type of motivation because everybody gave him great feedback. 90% of the comments I've seen, people were enjoying his verse. I hope that somehow motivates him to make another album, man. I know Cameron, when he did an interview, Cameron asked if he can drop new music. He said, no, I'll drop music, but it'll be pieces for like TV shows, which, whatever. I don't know why he does that, but I think he's scared of sales, honestly. If I ever interviewed 50, I'd be like, are you scared of the sales? Is that the reason why you don't want to drop an album? But I give 50 props, man. He did his thing. Snoop Dogg killed it as well. I love Snoop Dogg's part. But this is the part where I don't want to do this to Eminem, but Eminem obviously delivered the longest verse, killed it lyrically. But he's back to that like choppy flow. I don't like it. I'm tired of hearing it. I thought he got rid of it for the most part in Death of Slim Shady. He got rid of that choppy style on there, but I got to listen to it more on Eminem's side. Everything else is perfect. Eminem thing, I'm kind of in between. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying it's good. I just don't like that choppy, style that he has. I thought he got rid of that just based off of Death of Slim Shady. For the most part, he got rid of it. But other than that, man, I love it. I hope they shoot a music video for this. That would make my dreams come true even more. Please shoot a music video for this. That would be amazing. But my inner child screamed. When I saw this track, when I heard it, I loved it. I hope this happens more often, man, because as these guys get older, there might be less chances that we actually get something like this. So I'm glad that they even offered it on this album. I'm glad that the tracks on there. I'm sure they recorded more tracks because I remember 50 saying he flew to LA and they recorded like 3 or 4 tracks. So who knows? There might be a deluxe version to this album. There might be those tracks somewhere else that they land. A lot of people expected 50 to be on Eminem's album and to be featured on there, but that never ended up happening. So, we'll see what happens moving forward on that. But love the track, man. Love it. The next track, number 13, Sticky Situation. This is a neutral track for me. I like the first half. Production is crazy. I feel like on this track is where I miss Nate Dogg a lot. I miss Nate Dogg throughout this whole album. Nate Dogg would have added a whole different style and flair to it. But on this track specifically, I miss Nate Dogg. I felt like he could have had a real great impact on this track. It's not a hit or miss for me, but to me, there's a lot going on with this track. A lot of different sounds, styles, people, noises, stuff like that. So I still got to listen to it, but it's a neutral. It's not bad and it's not good. Number 14, Now or Never. I love this track. BJ the Chicago Kid, once again, shines on this record. Underrated. He kills the hook. Love him. Snoop and Dre both deliver as well. Production is smooth, out of this world. Love this track, Now or Never. It's on my best tracks list. Number 15, Gangsta Pose. This was on a bad track. Too much going on this track. Didn't like the transitions and preferred the first half of production. And that's really about it. Just wasn't a fan of the track. Never really went back to it. And then the last track, The Negotiator. It's on my neutral tracks, just like the intro. Decent outro. Didn't really like it or hate it or love it or any of that. It's just kind of one of those tracks that it's there. It's great execution on the outro, great execution on the intro. But will I ever listen to them again really like that? No. So it's just on my neutrals. So overall, I got 8 good tracks, 5 bad tracks, and 3 neutral tracks. So based on that, my rating on this album, because of the 5 bad tracks and 8 good ones or great ones, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Round of applause. To me, a 7.5 out of 10 is great. It's a good album. It's about to be great. Great is 8 till 9, and then obviously classic. So it's a good, damn near great album. I might end up changing in the future to 8, but it's at a 7.5 for me right now. But it doesn't matter. Snoop and Dre, just for them to come back and make an album and deliver this for fans, I love. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care that every track isn't perfect. Like, I don't expect that from them. They've had their prime. They're just now doing things for fun. And I felt like they delivered on a lot of tracks. So round of applause, man, to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre for giving us fans something when they don't have to. They don't have to do it. But they did. And I hope this motivates, like I said, 50 to drop more music. And hopefully we get more music videos out of this. And maybe we get a deluxe version. I would really enjoy that. I'm just happy that we finally got something from Dre. And I'm glad it's with Snoop Dogg, man. Them two as a duo is perfect. So, yeah, that's my take on the album, 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. I will be listening to this album for quite some time, though. I really enjoyed it. And maybe, who knows, maybe some of these tracks, as the years go on, sometimes I do change my opinions on certain tracks. But for right now, this is how I'm feeling. And usually it doesn't change often, percentage-wise, and what tracks I like and stuff like that. But don't hold me to this. I know people go back to like old videos and say, oh, Quake, you said this, you said that. Just know this is how I'm feeling at this moment. The rating can go down or up. Most of the time it goes up a little bit because some tracks grow on me and I just be like, I'll listen to them in the car. I'll listen to them at a certain moment and I'll like it a lot more. For the most part, that's how I feel about the album. Great. I love that they came back. A round of applause to them. They made my, childhood, and to see them consistently making music and out here again, doing their thing, I appreciate it. I don't care about the sales. None of that matters to me, man. Just the fact that we got this album, I'm really happy for. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Speaking of music, new music, let's get into it. Tory Lanez and DDG, dropped Handling Business. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre obviously dropped Missionary. Offset dropped Swing My Way. Polo G dropped Thug Memorials. I fucked that up. Thug Memorials. I'm stupid. DMX, Let Us Pray, Chapter X. I did check that out. I didn't listen to it, but I did. It was like 4 tracks. So I don't know if it's considered an album. It has like instrumentals on there. Fat Joe dropped The World Changed on Me. I need to check that out. Bossman D-Lo dropped D-Lo Curry. Banks and Lil Yachty dropped Smokin' in the Rain. The Alchemist and Rock Marciano dropped The Skeleton Key album. I got to check that out as well. ESTG dropped R.I.P. Lil Mike. Mario dropped Glad You Came. The album. Nicki Minaj dropped Pink Friday 2, The Hiatus. I'm assuming is like a deluxe extra version. Paul Wall dropped Once Upon a Grind album. Damn, Paul Wall dropped a project. That's interesting. But yeah, that's it for new music. Album sales, Taylor Swift is still number one in the Tortured Poets department with 238,000 sold. Kendrick Lamar is at number 2 with GNX, 126,000 sold. Number 3 is Rosie, debut at number 3 with 118,000 sold. Debut at number 4, Twice, Strategy with 90,000 sold. Number 5, Wicked Soundtrack, 75,000 sold. Number 6, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, 73,000 sold. Number 7, Michael Bubble, Christmas with 60,000 sold. Number 8, Bing Crosby, Ultimate Christmas with 56,000 sold. Number 9, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft with 53,000 sold. And number 10, Sabrina Carpenter, Fruitcake with 52,000 sold. Tyler Creator is at number 12 with the Chromopakia. I forget how to fucking pronounce this. I can't suck ass at pronouncing it. With 47,000 sold. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas, is back on the charts at number 14 with 46,000 sold. J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I did not check out the bonus tracks. I need to do that. It is back on the charts with 44,000 sold. That's insane. And that's how you do an album anniversary. You drop tracks that you didn't release at the time from the studio sessions, if you have them, obviously. I wish 50 would have done that with his albums. I wish Eminem would have done that. I wish any artist that's celebrating their anniversary drop old tracks from those studio sessions, man, as bonuses, as deluxes. Why not? Fans would love that. J. Cole did that. Shout out to him, man. Properly done. SZA SOS, number 18 with 42,000. Juice WRLD, The Party Never Ends, number 19 with 42,000. Going down, Rod Wave, Last Lap, number 28 with 30,000. Glorilla Glorious, number 38 with 26,000. VX The Plug, Take Care, number 47 with 24,000. And that's it for album sales. And that's it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. Obviously, support us, Spotify, Deezer, Pocket Cast, YouTube, all that. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.